Not only is there a large population of deaf persons in Dallas, but it's estimated that between 500,000 and 2 million people use American Sign Language in the United States, making it a valuable tool to help students become college and career ready. It may be a while before the person that lives in that apartment is allowed to return home. But for the others that live here, they should come home in just a few days. Although most school buses do not have seat belts, these high-back padded seats are meant to protect students in the event of a crash. Members of New Direction Church hope that their efforts in cleaning up Hickory Hill today will inspire others in Memphis to take pride in the city they call home. South Memphis has seen its share of violence, a fact that Mary Connolly knows all too well, fearing for her safety in the neighborhood she calls home.
It's very frightening for me. It's very frightening for a lot of other people, I'm assuming. I had just left this store 5 minutes prior to the accident happening.
She's referring to a murder in broad daylight, just a short distance from her home, causing her to realize that she could have just as easily been a victim, making her more cautious for her and her children.
And I thank God that it wasn't me or my children that got hurt yesterday, because we went to the store twice.
Mary is not the only one concerned. Other residents here realize that Memphis is no longer the city it was just a few short years ago.
Memphis used to be known for music, well-dressed people, talent, creativity.
Used to be, past tense. A sad reality for many here who only see things getting worse, becoming accustomed to the constant violence.
Yeah, it's just another day in the hood. You know, it's just that's the attitude. You know, people talk about it like that.
Many in this South Memphis neighborhood are concerned that as this school year ends, there will be many students left roaming the streets with nothing to do.
We know this is a troubled neighborhood. I mean, you got gang members in this neighborhood and everything.
Troubled, but not willing to give up, hoping that the community comes together to stop the violence. Stephen Adamson, News Channel 3, Memphis. Members of New Direction Church are on a mission to take down the crime that they say is taking over their community.
We need to get out on the corners so we can take down predatory lending, pawn shops, and other unsightly eyesores.
And getting out they are, canvassing the neighborhood to rid Hickory Hill of the graffiti and trash that are all too evident reminders of the crime that plagues this community.
We're coming outside our four walls as a church because it's time to get out of the box and engage our community.
For volunteers like Robert Pirtle, the time is right to make a change here. He was a victim of crime just a few days ago.
Last Monday night, right here at Winchester and Riverdale, I was getting my car serviced, and two gentlemen came around the corner, and they attempted to try to rob me while I was getting my car serviced. And a third gentleman came around the corner with a gun in his hand.
Members of New Direction Church hope that their efforts in cleaning up Hickory Hill today will inspire others in Memphis to take pride in the city they call home.
Once they see us take a step to improve the community, I think they'll take a step. And when we take two, they'll take two, and hopefully, and we'll just do it as a big family.
Only the first of many steps to impact a community that others have considered a lost cause.
We'll be back again, over and over, as long as it takes. We're here to stay. We ain't going nowhere.
Going nowhere but forward. In Hickory Hill, Stephen Adamson, News Channel 3. The burned-out shell of an abandoned apartment building in South Memphis is one of many signs that this vacant property is now a playground for criminals.
You know, anything could happen to a kid in one of these buildings, you know, just criminals hiding in there, or a kid mess around and stumble up on where they're cooking drugs.
A few months ago, the problem here was an abandoned apartment complex, a playground for criminals. But now the problem is much worse. Trash everywhere, overgrown weeds taking over. City leaders promised to clean up the property thanks to a new anti-blight program. Bulldozers began work, tearing down a section of the eyesore, but residents like Emma Jean Joyner, whose house faces the property, say since then, nothing has been done, and she's afraid for her safety.
Look at all them weeds outside of there, outside the house. It's just pitiful. They're not weeds, bushes. Trees, like, not bush, weeds, the trees. And anybody can hide there and blow your brains out, anything.
The city tells us that money is now available to finish the project, Bulldozers will once again go to work as soon as a deal is reached with a contractor. Stephen Adamson, News Channel 3, Memphis. When people consider a foreign language, they often think of French, Spanish, Mandarin Chinese. But for students at North Dallas High School and here at Skyline, they have the opportunity to take American Sign Language.
245.
I got started in American Sign Language with the fact that my mother is deaf. I grew up signing with her as well as with my sister, and my older brother would sit us down and actually teach us signs, things of that nature. My major in college was sign language interpreting, ASL interpreting. So that was when I actually got deep into the language and learned it a little bit more concretely. In our country, it's thriving. The ASL community, deaf community, it's really big with technology, the advances that are made, FaceTime, Skype, things of that nature.
Not only is there a large population of deaf persons in Dallas, but it's estimated that between 500,000 and 2 million people use American Sign Language in the United States, making it a valuable tool to help students become college and career ready.
I would like people to know that American Sign Language is very useful. It's very relevant to the students of Dallas. The job opportunities that are available here in Dallas alone, interpreting services, deaf education, things of that nature. It's fun and the students really, really like it.
American Sign Language is a popular course with students at Skyline and continues to grow at North Dallas as well. For The Hub, I'm Ricky Adamson, Dallas ISD News.